I love this film.
Well, good, good.
Finally, somebody's telling their side of the story. Did you feel that way?
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I made the film. I've been hearing these stories from these guys. I live in Hampton Bays and been friends with fishermen for several years, and they keep telling me about the struggles they have and the cards that are stacked against them. And they were urging me, Tom, why don't you do something with this? They know as a filmmaker, and I had.
Are you a fisherman or a fisher person? Boat
Can't
person?
catch a fish to save my life. I love to sail. I love the water, so I'm, sympathetic with it.
Right.
And but when this report came out from the federal government on the wrongdoing in NOAA, that was really the smoking gun that just said, okay, now's the time to do it. It's not just hearsay from the fishermen, but it's documented evidence of the wrongdoing. So at that point, I started contacting more fishermen and went out on the boats. And
How recently was that report? What year was that?
that was, I think it'll be 3 years ago in 2013. So.
And so what's been the result other than you making this film? Is there anything?
Not a whole lot. They moved some people around in NOAA, and there's supposed to be another report coming out. It's really looking at federal bureaucracy at some of its worst, I think.
Yeah, what is the biggest issue here?
Well, as far as politically, I think there's several things going on. One is that they're having trouble figuring out how many fish are in the ocean. It's tough. I have an aquarium. I can't count how many fish are in my aquarium. How can they count in the ocean? So the models are using the scientists that are going out, or the data is swinging back and forth, and so they're having trouble setting the quotas. 2013 is a big year where they were supposed to have reached a certain level of quotas, which they haven't reached yet, and so now they're saying, even though there's a ton of fish out there, we're not going to let you catch any more of the cod in certain areas until we reach that level. They're trying to change that, ease some of that off a little bit. But the other side, of course, is all of this enforcement activity, which is completely overzealous, and these guys have a vendetta against the commercial fishermen. They're going at it with big guns, and it's silly, they're trying to put them out.
How much of this was your footage?
All
of it?
95% of it.
95%.
I didn't shoot the hearings. I did go to Washington.
You did?
I went out on all the boats, and it was quite a thrill, I got to say. And part of the process of making the film, and I do a lot of maritime documentaries, do a lot of filming on boats, but I got to tell you, at least commercial fishermen, it was a whole different experience of going out there in the middle of the night in long hours, hard work, and I was just filming. I wasn't hauling nets. And I was exhausted after a day of it. Those guys sleep for a few hours, get up, and do it all over again. Enormously hardworking. As
a documentary filmmaker, do you take on these issues? Does it become a mission for you in a sense?
It has to. You really have to be so committed to it, and for the voice of the people in your film and in the cause that's going on, or whatever message you're telling or whatever story you're telling. For me, it's like a discovery process. When I first learn about a subject, I go, that's kind of interesting. I want to learn more, get more and more involved in it, and then I tell that story to the audience. I give them what I've learned about it, and try to draw them in emotionally as well, as make it entertaining and compassionate.
These are characters, most
they
certainly.
Are.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you identify which ones you were going to shoot?
I knew some guys in Hampton Bays, and then I went to some advocacy groups in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and they put me in touch with some other people. And not everybody wanted to be in the film. And there were some times when there was a little confusion on who I was on board. There was one trip out of Montauk, and part of NOAA's effort to count fish is they put observers on boats. And they thought I was an observer from NOAA, and they're pushing me out of the way. Someone went up and talked to the captain and said, no, he's on our side.
I was amazed. Were all of you too at how much was being thrown away in the first scenes?
Yeah.
You saw them just tossing fish out, and I thought, are these fish rotten? Are they dead? Or what? Why were they throwing so many out?
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
They can catch them, but can't keep them. So even though they're dead, not all of them die, but some of them die. And so what good is that for anybody if you're throwing dead fish away? It's like you could have brought those back. There's people hungry. There's always a place for good, nutritious food.
I love the quote, of course, from Sir Walter Scott that you close with men's lives. And Men's Lives, you might have known if you were here, was at Bay Street.
Yeah.
Joe Pintaro's play, and based on Peter Matheson's book about the lives of the fishermen, and that goes back years. But the same challenges hold true. But do you feel it's getting worse, not better?
I do. You know, I'm not an expert on it.
But have you become one, in a sense,
Well,
by doing this documentary?
In this capsule of time we're dealing with now, yes, I'm fully up on what's happening. And, you know, hope there is change, you know. There's some big politicians behind it, but you don't know. You know, they're just talking, you know, something has to happen.
Tom Garber, what a phenomenal piece of work.
Well,
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming, Tom. What a pleasure to meet you.
Proud to be here.